is like mean. That's mean. Like we just call it. We just call it.
And we're live here on the LI Sports Network for a matchup between Middle Country Varsity and East Islip Varsity. And well, the Cougars, they're going to need to play with a lot of heart today because they only have 6 skaters to work with, a backup goaltender and a starting goaltender against one of the best teams here in the varsity division. East Islip have only lost 2 games thus far, one of them over to Smithtown Hauppauge and the other one to Northport Huntington, 2 of the other premier teams here in the Suffolk County High School Hockey League. We'll get this game underway in the first period with the puck drop at center ice. As once again, Middle Country, large task ahead of them. Gonna have to play with a lot of conserved energy and realistically just try to play to have a little bit of fun and to play as well as they can. This is a uphill battle regardless of how many skaters you have out. Barton looking for control at the red line. Tapping it back as Clements gets into that passing lane. Looking over at Middle Country's season so far. Their wins coming against West Islip in a 10-2 dominant fashion, and then against the Pat Med Raiders in a 7-3 win. Their most recent game was against Northport Huntington. It was a close game. Lost 4-3 ultimately, but kept a good Tigers team honest. As we have a 2-on-1 developing past the blue line, a pass out in front, and that's the first goal. East Islip strike first to make it 1-0. Resinello will get the first goal at 13:44 in the first period. Starting goaltender for the Cougars is Kenneth Bridgeford. As East Islip not exactly skating their hardest to start off this game, they know they have plenty of backups to just take this one easy. No reason to push yourself too hard when you're playing with so many more reserves than the opposition for Middle Country. Well, maybe if they can spring out to a couple of goals, they can start feeling a little bit better about themselves. Long shot, traffic in front, and make it 2-0 just like that. Parents here for Middle Country just trying to encourage their kids as they again fight in a lopsided battle. LaFata, nice little wrister right there, rings it off the iron. LaFata, one of the premier goal scorers this season in the varsity division. LaFata, a nice pass. Quick shot for East Islip, blocked out in front by McGee. The eye fight to get it back. Another slide to the slot. Shot, and they score. So in just a couple of minutes, East Islip bouncing out to a 3-0 lead. LaFata with the puck again. Long shot, another iron clipping right there from LaFata. Here comes Ian McGee. McGee, nice moves. Dips the shoulder and breaks in on the far side. Taken away, and East Islip get it back. LaFata shimmying, gets free. LaFata in the front. His shot saved. Bridgeford doing a good job to get in front of it. Once again challenged in the kitchen. and fights off that opportunity. A little stick check with Connors, recognizing that both of them had a good play there. Another blast from range from Lafata spills off to the left side of that, held in by East Islip. Reinhardt will go on a skate. Leave it there for his troops. East Islip on another clear. Brought up, Fontaine across, Bradley stick tied up, couldn't get the shot off. 4 minutes gone by here in the first period. Breakaway, here comes McGee down Main Street, check from behind, and he'll draw a penalty. McGee taking a hard crash into the end boards, as well as a couple of East Islip players. Question is, are we going to see a penalty shot in this game? Or is this just going to be a power play? Looks like it's a power play for the Cougars. Tipped in front, but just a little bit wide. East Islip find a turnover and get it out. Bradley dancing. Has it lifted off of his stick. It'll be Chris Lawler in the box for 2 minutes for East Islip, tripping the official call. Bradley takes it away in the offensive end. Shot ramps off his stick, pops down for Walsh in the left wing corner. Walsh through a flurry of poke checks taken back by the Cougars, and they'll bring it into the offensive ends. Good positioning from Marzito. Can't win the puck back though, as about a minute has gone by in the power play opportunity. Long shot, and they'll score! On the power play, Middle Country find their first to make it a 3-1 game. Barton trying to get the 3-goal lead back. Jousted off his stick and then flipped into the offensive end. Middle Country once again possess. Sweep it across the blue. Comes back for East Islip. Into the offensive end. Nice little pass into the slot, but instantly knocked away as Dolson's shot will be saved. 9:18 remaining in the first. Puck given back to Freeland. Plenty of options. Looks for Barton. Shot taken on net, once again wide. To the corner, East Islip go, but it's poked around. Monkwitz with an opportunity to clear. Send it the length, should go back for an icing, and the referees will enforce. Possession spins over to Reinhardt, giving it down low. East Islip separated from the puck, and it's spun around by Middle Country. Off the perimeter and out. Reinhardt gives it over. Chance from the slot. Lafada shuts it down. Lafada across. Resinello 3-on-2 past the blue line. Resinello spun around, and it's taken back by Middle Country. Cleared off the backhand. Here's East Islip on the reload. The Chiefs looking for a fourth in this period. Resinello across. Lafada in front, scores. Smooth hands from Evan Lafada adds on to his season tally. 8:12 left in the first period. Score now 4-1. Lead pass to Haynes goes a little bit out of his control, and it's Munkwitz instead. Getting it back on the right side of the rink. He goes through the blue. Munkwitz pulling up for a shot, whistles it wide, off target, carries around the boards, and Resinello will play it out. Streaking up on the near side, centering, Lafada, shot, save, rebound. Lafada couldn't find it a second time. Comes loose to Reinhardt in the slot, stick tied up, now poked away. And Middle Country will find themselves a nice little clear. Marzito with speed. Leaves it back. Resinello testing down low. Rebound goes to Haynes. Haynes gives it out in front. Shot, rebound again, and it'll be fought off. Bridgeford with a nice little sequence right there. Shutting down opportunities. We'll take a replay of that on the LI Sports Network. Halfway gone by in the first period. Valiant effort showed so far by Middle Country. Only having 6 active skaters right now. Bridgeford, their starting goaltender, and a backup just in case. Turnover goes to Jack Fontaine. Taken past the blue line. Fontaine, give and go. What a save by Bridgeford. Another robbery on the doorstep. One-upping himself right there. East Islip once again through with Fontaine. One hand on the stick. Fontaine, shot carries below the goal line. Has options, looks to the blue with Lawler. A blast deflects off some skate blades. Back for Fontaine. Fontaine dishes it out in front. Another chance. Rebound comes off to the right side, still alive. Spun off the boards to the far point, but not out. EI, a D-to-D pass. Lawler takes it now. Good little juke right there. Gives it below the goal line. Another centering feed. Shut down this time by Munkwitz, and the captain can look to clear himself. Munkwitz into numbers advantage. Shot not going to go through. East Islip lucky to get away with it right there. McGee looking to deal from the corner. Knocked off the puck. Good strong check coming from Damien. .5:30 left in the first period. Bradley. Rister, save made by Bridgeford. Rebound goes below the goal line. Bradley gets it back. Lifts it around one stick, now challenged by a second. Bradley up to the blue line, but not out. Walsh in the blue paint looking for options. Said it's Bradley there to contest for it. And we're going to get a whistle, I believe, to put us back into the neutral zone for another draw. Been a while since we've seen a goal. Back at 8:12 from Evan Lafada. Bradley to the goal line, sends it to the slot. Shot coming, blocked down by Monkwitz. Rebound spills around, and somehow Middle Country once again come up trumps and get it past the blue line. I mixed my metaphor right there. Came up aces, I was trying to say. .425 left in the first period. East Islip will calmly play at the length of the ice, taken back by Middle Country. It's Monkwitz with it right now. Dare I say, one of the premier defensemen in the entire Suffolk County High School Hockey League. Here's Middle Country, nice little pace in their game, but McGee had it lifted off of his control. Long stretch passes. Dolson tries to get to it. Will wave off the icing. Dolson out in front. Barton, a shot save made by Bridgeford. 3 consecutive great saves for Andrew. Under 4 to play in the first period. Pass goes over to Monkwitz. Pressured. Gets it up ice. Almost taken away by Barton. Now Dolson challenged. Stick lift, but can't win back possession. Comes around. Monkwitz in the corner. Absorbs the hit from Marzita. Trying for a centering feed, but too many players from the Chiefs were in front of him. Ends up in a board battle. EI will contain it there for some more time. Down to 3 minutes to play in the first. Still a 3-goal lead for the Chiefs. And they'll score! Awkward play right there as my eyes were caught on Baerga, who was having a hard time getting back to the net, and because of that, the puck ends up in the back. Look at him right there trying to fight through a screen to get back into the goal. Just wasn't able to get there in time, so a second for Middle Country. Resinello. Now with a little bit more speed in his game. Across for Fontaine. Shot down low. Resinello the rebound. Bridgeford takes it away. Up to the blue line. Across. Monkwitz with an opportunity to get it out, but instead it's Ryan Resinello in the right wing. Sends it in front for Haynes. Tap towards the slot, but all the way through and through. Damien rims it around. Resinello with it again. Leaves it with Fontaine. Tried to drag around a defender, but had it poked away from his grasp. Monkwitz splits the D on the backhand, driving out in front. Had his stick lifted from behind and couldn't get the shot off because of it, but Monkwitz still dishing. Off to the left circle, shot fought off. Spills around the boards, and now Fontaine can break into a breakaway. McGee the only man back. Here's Fontaine, left side with options. Pass to Resinello. Save made by Bridgeford. What a stop on the goal line. Middle Country playing with an attitude right now as their goaltender has been fantastic over the last couple of opportunities. Long pass to Haynes. Couldn't control it. Looks like we have a loose skate guard or something out on the ice. The referees will go over and pick that up. Resinello barreling down the main street. Dragging onto his backhand and curls over into the corner. Looking for a pass up top to Freeland. He pinches down into the play. Freeland still with it. Hands off Haynes. A blast on net. Good rebound control as it caroms off to the corner. Back up top. 50 seconds left in the first period. 4-2 the score. Freeland Couldn't dive around McGee, but does get back in time to steal the way. Somehow Middle Country battle it back out in front. There's Jack Connors to come in as the last line of defense. Now Connors with an opportunity to carry past the blue. Connors with a shot, save made, rebound off to the right side and carried down low by the Cougars. 10 seconds left in the first period. Middle Country seem content to just kill it off in their own zone as the puck comes off to the near side. And we'll head into our first intermission with a 4-2 East Islip lead here on the LI Sports Network. And we'll come back for the start of the second period here on the LI Sports Network. 4-2 the score in favor of East Islip as Middle Country are playing with only 6 active skaters against one of the best teams in the varsity division. LaFada separates from the puck, gets it back. LaFada, he scores. Another goal for East Islip's best. He's rung the pipe a couple of times this game, but made no mistake on that opportunity. It's a goal to start the second period. LaFada trying to win the face-off forward. Touched up by Reinhardt and carried into the zone. Reinhardt will hold in on the far point. Monkwitz. Challenged by Bradley. Monkwitz strong on his stick. Carrying around, and we'll get another penalty as Middle Country will go back on the power play. As East Islip will touch up. The Cougars will go down to the offensive end looking for their third goal of the game. And it looks like we have an extra Middle Country player joining it late. So that's definitely going to bolster their troops, but it's instantly broken away. Here comes Jack Dolson streaking in. Dolson, the short-handed shot is shut down. Covered up, but the referees will keep the game moving. Long wrister down the ice. McGee just barely offsides. McGee pops it forward, then it's taken away by Dolson. Here's Barton in the slot. Barton a shot. Save made. Dolson looks for the rebound, but it's smacked away by Monkwitz. He gets his pocket picked. Across to Dolson again. Shot. Save again from Bridgeford. Freeland back to the neutral zone. Looks across. Barton will dump it in. Buck 13 left on the power play for Middle Country. McGee, not liking his angle attack, will wrap around for a new one, this time going from the middle. Spears it forward, but it should be taken away by Lawler. Pitched off the backhand, but not out. McGee now fanning on his first shot. Stick checks galore for East Islip, and they'll clear. Middle Country trying to get back to the attack on the power play. Here's Monkwitz. Gets it past the blue line. Monkwitz taking a trip down low. Carries it around. Sends it back to the blue. Long shot with traffic. Fought off. Rebound spills to the corner. Now popped up high. Held alive by Middle Country. It's Monkwitz with room. Rolling up on the shot. Save is made. And it will spill around the end boards. We're back to 5-on-5 here at the rinks. EI with a takeaway. Lead pass to Barton. 2-on-1 with Resinello. Dolson on the follow-up. Barton will score on the wrister. McGee goes skate to stick. Pressured. Haynes trying to hold it alive. Haynes at the blue line. Slides it left. Room pass out in front, but the shot is tapped off to the left end. Marzito. Little give and go. Resinello looking back. Marzito. Marzito. He scores and pops the water bottle. 6-2. Make it 7-2. Excuse me. For East Islip. Here comes Resinello again. Leaves it behind. East Islip trying to add on from Marzito in the slot. Shot is instantly blocked away. 11 minutes to play in the second period. It's a 5-goal lead. Resinello at the goal line sends it out in front. No shot came through for East Islip. Send it across for Reinhardt. Brings it down low. Resinello trouble controlling, but he'll get back onto it in the corner. Fires it across. Good passing for East Islip. Reinhardt now at the goal line. Looks to jam it out in front. Couple of saves made. Rebound covered up and a quick whistle from the referees. 10:38 to play in the second. Fontaine will step in. As we have a goaltender substitution, Andrew Martins will get into the blue paint. Middle Country will chip it down the ice. East Islip, couple of passes, and they're out of the zone again. Here comes Jack Fontaine, lifted off of his stick, and Monkwitz will happily take the loose puck. A pass deflects, and it goes back for Fontaine, down low, trying to go 5-hole, denied by Martins. Monkwitz again. A little shimmy to break it up down the middle of his own zone. Monkwitz knifes through the blue line, fading off to his right side, taken away by East Islip. It sits free in the slot, and now they'll clear. Fontaine in the corner, centering feed, shut down. Monkwitz just looking for the clear, and it's right out again from Middle Country. Gonna get another penalty from the officials, this time going on Middle Country. East Islip will dump it in and allow Middle Country to check up unless it's Jack Fontaine to get there first. Fontaine loses control, and now we'll get the stoppage. Reinhardt to the slot, whistles a shot wide, a big bounce off the end boards, held in by East Islip. Bradley getting onto it, now swapping off with Resinello, gives it back to Bradley, works it into the high slot. A shot from Main Street, not going to be on target. Still in the offensive end over at the left circle. A long pass will go tape to tape for Bradley. Gives it off Marzito, carries it to the right side, spins left. Marzito swapping again with Resinello. Resinello to the middle. Bradley couldn't get his stick down in time. 40 seconds gone by on the power play, and will be carried all the way down the ice by Middle Country. Completely fine with just killing more of these seconds away from East Islip. Stretch pass. Good one. Left off for Bradley. Bradley sliding it out in front, shut down by Middle Country, and the puck will clear the zone again. Marzito on the backhand, centering feed, out in front. Bradley trying to jam it. Rebound goes off to the right side. Monkwitz trying to find the clear, but he's shut down. Reinhardt takes it, and a penalty on the play will go against East Islip. We'll go to 4-on-4. Four-on-four we skate, a lot more open ice for East Islip. McGee with an opportunity to start going north for himself. It will be a power play soon for Middle Country. So get Graziano out of the box. East Islip giving it ahead. Barton in one-on-one. Barton testing Martin's glove save, and the whistle will come through. Good move for EI. Shorthanded on the doorstep. Martins makes a good save. Freeland, another tester. LaFada got in front of it. LaFada now across for Haynes. One underneath his stick, bounces off the boards. Haynes will take it back. Under a minute in the Middle Country power play. Marzito will be able to kill off some more time. Looks to his defensive partner, and it flies up the boards. LaFada against McGee. McGee trying to dip away. Somehow able to control. Goes across Monkwitz. Skate to stick. Monkwitz through the blue line. 3-on-2. They skate it down. Monkwitz now pulling up. Absorbing hits from Freeland. Little saucer on the backhand. Up to the blue and now back to Monkwitz. Monkwitz tried to go through the legs of LaFada. Haynes couldn't stretch the pass. It's gloved down by Monkwitz. Will slide it past the blue line as his team looks to go back onto the offensive zone. 5 seconds left in the 5-on-4. Power play over. LaFada takes it ahead. Little tap pass. Monkwitz stepped in front of it but doesn't control it cleanly. Monkwitz another opportunity. Marzito, little give and go action. Banked off the boards, sent across to the other side. Centering feed, and it's once again saved by Martins. Up top for Haynes, a blast goes high above the bar. Marzito wiggles it down, leaving it behind him for Haynes. Has room in the corner. Haynes with two players in front of him as East Islip will make a change on the back end. Resinello down low scores. Fontaine on the draw. Shot goes through the skates of Monkwitz, centering feed, but Middle Country pounce on it first. Fontaine stretches it ahead. Tapped off, back to Fontaine. A nice wrister, got a lot on it, but Martins was able to battle it away. Skimmed off to the near side, eventually working for Monkwitz. He puts on the Jets. Flying past the blue, Monkwitz, a shot save made, and East Islip will get the whistle with 3:42 left in the second period. Back to live as East Islip fire it down the length. Get an icing against Middle Country. Quick shot off the draw, snapped a little bit off target. Barton will ring it off the iron. Lawler pivots onto the puck, poked off of his stick. Middle Country get it past the blue line, but right back for East Islip. Just over 3 minutes to play in the second period here on the LI Sports Network. EI get it down low. Martin's a save, gives up the rebound in front, but has plenty of teammates there to help him out. East Islip shut down the clearing attempt. Pass across. Barton a one-timer. Off to the left this time. Lawler holds it in on the backhand. Bank pass down low. Sent back up towards the blue line. East Islip still control. Just as I say it, it's swept out. Could be a breakaway as well. Here comes Middle Country in on net. Doesn't get it in. Reinhardt there for the rebound. McGee holds it alive. McGee, slap shot, save made. Rebound comes out in front, poke down low. Haynes, lead pass. Barton flying to the net. Shot save Martins. Barton trying to glove down his rebound. Sends it in front, and it's a tap-in. Brought out the putter for the score. Nine to 2 now the tilt in favor of East Islip. The Chiefs trying to win their 9th game of the season to put them 9-2 and over and 0 overall. Middle Country would become 3-8-1. For those maybe not too familiar with how the Suffolk County High School Hockey League breaks down their scoring, that one is not an overtime loss, but rather a straight up tie as a blast is taken on net and Martins will make the save. The rules for overtime here in the Suffolk County High School Hockey League: you skate 4-on-4. No changes during stoppages, only changes on the fly. And if after the end of 4 minutes there is no winner, it's just a soccer tie. Lawler dumps it in. Monkwitz takes it back with $1:30 left on the EI power play. A little bit more than that remaining in the period. Pass ahead. Walsh breaks it in. Little drag there, but it was interrupted by Monkwitz. Active stick as always. LaFata battling for it. It spills up to Marzito. Holds the zone and looks down for his captain. LaFata centering feed for Walsh. Walsh in the slot. Shot. Martins to save. Rebound. Directs over to LaFata. He'll bring it back to the perimeter. Skating it into the high slot. LaFata couldn't dive past those poke checks, and Middle Country another opportunity to clear. Here come the Chiefs again. Saucer over to Bradley. Did get through the traffic. 30 seconds left in the power play. Bradley will draw another penalty for interference here, and we'll go 5-on-3. It's actually going to go down for tripping instead of interference. So East Islip with a 5-on-3 now. Reinhardt, Resinello against Monkwitz in the corner. Comes back to Reinhardt. 15 seconds in the 5-on-3. Pass comes out in front. Walsh one more time. And Fontaine couldn't let the shot fly. Fontaine, high slot, Tester, blocker save. 4 seconds left in the 5-on-3, 6 in the period. East Islip get out in front for one more shot. 3 seconds left. Fontaine couldn't get to it, and McGee will kill off the clock. We'll go to the third period. Score 9-2 in favor of East Islip. Still $1:29 left on a Chief power play. And we're back here on the LI Sports Network. About to start the third period of this matchup between Middle Country and East Islip. .129 left for the East Islip power play. And the 15 minutes will start now. Rasanella with control off the draw. Pivots around Haynes. Now taking it in deep and pulling up at the half wall. Could look to the blue line. Instead, fires it into the slot. It's a turnover that Middle Country will gladly clear off of. Fontaine taps it. Rasanella. Still on control for number 11. Rasanello trying to turn the corner. Looks back. Now Marzito. Through the blue line as he gains the zone. Has Rasanello behind him. Pivots to the goal line. Leaves it off for Rasanello. Up top, Fontaine. Fontaine around the edge. Back pass, Reinhardt. Stick tied up, and it's taken away. Monkwitz. Shot blocked by Marzito, limping as he tries to skate it off. Definitely going to feel that one when you take off the skates. Pass ahead, intercepted by Middle Country. Fontaine trying to create a turnover in the offensive end. 15 seconds left in the 5-on-4. Pass comes out in front, and East Islip will direct it down low. And we're back to 5-on-5 here at the rinks. One more game to follow this one up. It will be Smithtown Varsity. Smithtown Hop Hog, to be specific, against Pat Med. The 9-1 Bulls against the 0-10 Raiders. Fontaine cuts it through. Pass out in front. East Islip couldn't convert it. There's Jack Connors on the doorstep. Wrapped around, shot saved by Martins. Rebound spills to the blue line, but not out. Connors with it again. Looking to dish behind him, stepping up is McGee. Puck will be sent down for an icing. McGee on the draw. Pops around, play to the near point. Monkwitz holds it, and we're going to get a hooking call on East Islip as they cover it up in the net. Quick shot on net, spills out in front. East Islip get onto it. Here comes LaFata. Finding some traffic. Barton trying to create the turnover. LaFata creates it out in front, trying to go around to the far side, but can't get it through Martins. LaFada another takeaway, wraps in front, scores, shorthanded. LaFada, long pass over to Barton at the goal line. Barton looking across, gets it for Lawler. Shot with LaFada's stick in the way. It goes off to the right side of the net. Monkwitz, pocket pick by Barton. Comes back to McGee. McGee lost it again to Barton as it's played out of the zone. 20 seconds left in the power play for Middle Country. Marzito ahead. LaFada, long ranger, hits some traffic, comes to Barton. Fires it back towards the middle, hits off the near side of the goal. LaFada to control into the corner, slides it to the front. Barton on his forehand, save is made. Comes out to the blue as we're back to 5-on-5. Resinello, long range saucer. Now given across, back to Resinello as he streaks in towards the net. Arister with a lot of speed, travels a little off target. Pass, second shot, Resinello couldn't beat Martins down low. Face-off won by EI. To Resinello on the half wall. Gets it back and looks down low. So the Chiefs just trying to kill off the remainder 8:30 of this game. 10-2 tilt right now is EI well positioned to take their 9th win and their 11th game of the season. Here come the Chiefs again, another shot. Karams off the end boards. Play it to the weak side of the ice. Another centering feed travels through the blue paint. Banks off the corner. Pass now intercepted and Middle Country can clear. About halfway gone by in this third period. Haynes had it but lost it. Gets the poke pass forward. Haynes knifes through the blue line. Harassed by Monkwitz. Steered into the boards. Bradley getting into the play. And will ultimately win it back. Haynes to Bradley. Bradley can't control for too long. High shot saved by Martins. Rebound, Bradley tries to send it low, but Martins got down from the butterfly. Bradley still with it, trying to eke it out in front. Spun around. Monkwitz to the corner, taps it for a teammate. They try to find the clear with an outlet pass to the far wall. Works to the blue line and now swept away. Middle Country is going to be offsides. Damien, plenty of time. Gets it to Bradley for the breakaway. Bradley in, save made, Martins. Monkwitz. Skate to stick. Whims it past the blue line. East Islip get it back. Cougars forcing it forward. Long shot. Goes off the skate blade of Lawler. Another centering feed. Does go through and through. And that was almost another nice look for Middle Country. On the counterattack, it's the captain, Lafada. Trying to pull up on his skates. Good stick lift. Sends it to his left side. And it hits a little bit of turbulence with McGee. Still popping around for McGee. Settles it and clears it past the blue. Freeland. Nice joust. Then a riposte from McGee. Will pinch it against the boards. Couple of players tie up. Breaking it out of the pack was Lafada. Then has his pocket pick come back into the play for Lafada. Good enough to win the possession for East Islip. Here's Lafada again. A streak out in front of the net. Lafada missed the goal. I think Martins might have gotten a piece of that, actually. Robbing one of the best in the league right now. Lafada gets the saucer into the slot. Lafada dangles. Martin couldn't get there this time. Lafada tacks on another one. I believe completing a hat trick for himself as well. .325 remaining in regulation. Back with it was Marazito. Whips it to the near side. Lawler will roll the puck around. Monkwitz should be the first one to it. Taps it up the boards, and Marazito holds it in with his skate. Giving it back down low below the goal line. Return pass. Misplays it a little bit, and Middle Country can fly forward. Under 3 to play here in the third. It's an 11-2 lead in favor of East Islip. Turnover at the blue line. Dolson, wrist shot, save made, collects on the backhand. Another tester. Martins gets there in time. Dolson with it again, dipping below the blue line. Playing it up. Shot, save made by Barton. .220 to play. Barton once again has it jousted off his stick. Played into the air and out of the zone. It's back for Lawler now. Fires it down. Twirled around the perimeter and out. Monkwitz down Main Street looking for one more. Couldn't get it through. Pressure from behind was a little bit too much for the captain. Monkwitz onto another attack. Has it poked away. Fontaine with it now. Stretched up to Resinello. Gets it off for Haynes. Haynes in front. Martin's another great save. .13 remaining in the third period. comes out in front. Haynes, a shot denied by Monkwitz, and it's pried free from the zone by Middle Country. Reinhardt, the lone defender back, can't get it there. Out in front, and no shot came through. Hit the final 60 seconds of regulation. Another stretch pass. Resinello tries to get there in time. Middle Country batted away. Fontaine with Resinello. Work it past McGee. Resinello down the left side. Gives it off to Fontaine. Tied up by Monkwitz, and he'll take control. Monkwitz getting a man into a lead pass. It's going to be a breakaway to end the game. Middle Country find a third. Graziano from Monkwitz, as the game will be buzz dead with an 11-3 victory for East Islip. They'll move ahead to a 9-2-0. Middle Country falling to 2-8-1. Another impressive victory here for East Islip. In all fairness, against a Middle Country team that only had 7 active skaters. We'll be back here on the LI Sports Network for one more varsity matchup, Smithtown Hauppauge versus Pat Med. That puck drop will come right after the end of this game.